A former peasant, Ishido has raised himself to all-important Busho, a member of the Council of Regents and the protection of Osaka Castle. He hates his low birth but despises those grand indeed more. Ishido will stop at nothing to remove Toranaga from the council and neutralize him as a trouble to Ishido's own power. A former peasant, Ishido Kazunari raised himself to become each important warlord, a member of the Council of Regents, and the protector of Osaka Castle. Ishido is a curt military stager who seeks order and routine in all aspects of his life, getting pleasure from diurnal rituals and bringing order to chaos. At the morning of our story, Ishido has eventually brought the other members of the Council of Regents to his side, persuading them that Toranaga is dangerous for the realm. Jealous and suspicious of the power that Toranaga holds and continues to gain, Ishido seeks to exclude him. During the Warring States period, some social mobility was possible. Peasants could become samurai, and that's exactly what Ishido did. He pictured of forging his own path, but when he met Nakamura, the soon-to-be Taiko, Ishido saw a man worth following. A former peasant, just like him, Nakamura's intellect won him battle after battle. He fought with further smarts than muscle and kept Ishido by his side as his pious Kosho. Beating indeed the great Toranaga, Nakamura eventually managed to unify the country. In the recently erected Osaka Castle, he put Ishido's sharp mind to work, dealing with the logistics of governing. Defying Lord Toranaga. Lord Ishido invites Lord Toranaga to come meet him and the Council of Regents in Osaka. He accuses Lord Toranaga of aligning power against them. He also demands the return of Lady Okiba, the heir-at-law's mama, who he claims Toranaga is holding as a hostage. Lord Toranaga insists that he's innocent and only wants peace, but Ishido doesn't believe him. Voting against Toranaga. Lord Ishido speaks to the members of the council hoping for a unified vote for Toranaga's indictment. When the Christian lords express their strong desire for Blackthorn to be executed, Ishido eventually agrees to their request and in trouble to convert them to side with him in the vote. Blocking Toranaga's exit to Ojiro. Yabushige, Yoshii Nagakado, and a group gather to set off to Ojiro with John, Kiri no Kata, Mariko, and others without Toranaga. Still, Ishido shows up worried that Toranaga didn't give a day's notice before Kiri's departure so that he could pay his felicitations. Ishido speaks to Kiri and she informs him there are too numerous cutthroats in Osaka, and this is why she plans. Still suspicious of the group's decision to suddenly pick up and leave, he insists his men companion them to the Osaka castle gates. After that, he has his men do another hunt of everyone who's leaving. Latterly, Ishido finds out that Toranaga snuck out with the convoy. Lord Kiyama speaks with Ishido about Yabushige's treason. They watch while a group of Kiyama's men in boats block the pathway of Toranaga and the others. Still, their boats pass Kiyama's men to Ishido's disappointment. Ishido confronts Kiyama, emphasizing his disappointment at his plan to get relief of both the heathen and Toranaga has failed therefore far. Hiramatsu arrives to deliver the news of Toranaga's abdication as a regent. Ishido threatens Toranaga with indictment, averring the piece of paper changes nothing. Hiramatsu informs him that Taiko needed 5 regents for any vote and that he's hysterical to inform Ishido he only has 4 now. Entering news about Jozen. The Council of Regents meets and discusses impeaching Toranaga. Still, Ishido reminds them this isn't possible since the council is now deficient after his abdication. Latterly, Ishido receives a wrapped package with Jozen's head outside. Latterly, Lady Okiba returns to Osaka. She thanks Lord Ishido for helping her release from Edo. She mentions hearing that the council was overreached, but Ishido insists it'll each be restored. Lady Okiba insists the council answer to her now. The literal model for Ishido is Ishida Mitsunari. His father was Ishida Masatsugu, an indigenous lord in the Omi fiefdom under the rule of the Azai clan. When Hideyoshi, the Taiko, took control of the region after the defeat of the Azais by Oda Nobunaga, Kuroda and Shogun, he made the Ishidas his vassals. At the age of 14, Mitsunari became one of Hideyoshi's koshos, youthful samurai who served as guards for their lord, and joined Hideyoshi's army when he raided Mori Teramoto's home in western Japan. In 1582, he accompanied Hideyoshi on his 150 afar trip from Takamatsu to Yamazaki near Kyoto, where his lord defeated the army of a vassal who betrayed Nobunaga. While Hideyoshi consolidated his position as Nobunaga's successor, Mitsunari followed him in all his battles and gradationally rose to elevation, getting one of Hideyoshi's trusted generals by his early 20s. From Mitsunari's surviving letters, it's clear that he was a competent director rather than a legionnaire. These rates didn't go unnoticed by Hideyoshi, and he used Mitsunari in colorful executive places. Latterly, Mitsunari became one of the 5 officers who took care of the government of the areas directly controlled by Hideyoshi. In addition to being a born diplomat, Mitsunari was also a shrewd politician and a master of manipulation, which earned him some musketeers but also numerous adversaries. This was apparent when he served as an inspector in the Korean juggernauts. Mitsunari gave low conditions to some of the hard-fighting generals, including Hosokawa Tadaoki, Buntaro and Shogun. These generals were furious, and Tadaoki, along with 6 other generals, attacked Mitsunari in his Osaka manse after Hideyoshi's death. Mitsunari slightly escaped and was saved by Ieyasu, who had interposed to restore order. Mitsunari soon developed a particular grudge against Ieyasu for his strong part in governing the country. He searched for an occasion to get relief of Ieyasu, and one soon presented itself.